Welcome back to theZoomer. The hellish horror of pandemic-era travel is supposedly getting better, but there are always new and unexpected glitches, from medical emergencies in foreign countries to unexpected flight cancellations and lost luggage. The unforeseen can turn our dream vacations into nightmares, and that's where travel insurance comes in. So the CAA offers travel insurance, medical insurance, and trip cancellation and interruption insurance. So, Catherine, the question is, do travelers need all of those?
Absolutely. As soon as you step outside of your home province, you should be protecting yourself and your finances. So emergency medical is covering any emergency you have that may require hospitalization, a ground ambulance, crutches, x-rays. Our Ontario Health Plan does not cover those. So that would be even a day trip to Quebec City, a ski vacation in British Columbia, for example, but of course, outside of Canada as well. So to determine emergency medical insurance is based on, at CAA as well, like your age, the duration of your trip, and your stability periods if there are pre-existing illnesses. Trip cancellation and interruption are covering your financial investments. Trip cancellation is prior to your departure. So as soon as you book a vacation or a trip, you should also be looking at the insurance aspect to protect any type of money you've put down, because generally those monies are non-refundable.
Because I know that there were people thought they were covered for certain things, so the flight on the way back would be canceled, but suddenly they had to pay for 5 more days at a resort. That's right. Trip interruption?
So that would be interruption, so that's after departure.
Right.
So it depends, of course, if it's an insured risk. Now, if it is an airline, they generally have to make you whole and offer you a alternative, or look after a refund and you make your own reservations. But if you are in a destination, those delays and disruptions can take days to get rectified. And so you are packing your patients, and you may have to pay for some lodging or extra meals. That is when insurance, your trip interruption, will step in. You do have to make the phone call. You do have to contact your insurance carrier. So with us, it is Orion Insurance, and ask them, what do I need to do? So to make sure that you've got all the proper documentation to submit for a claim.
Okay, I want to get to the health insurance, because it's different if you're over 60, and
Correct.
What does that involve? You have to make a declaration.
So if it is only the emergency medical insurance you require, and you're traveling outside of Canada, there is a medical declaration to fill out. So it is an overview of your health. And there is eligibility. So it is just looking at everything down to cholesterol, high blood pressure, acid reflux, but then also the bigger questions. So are you on warfarin, or certain drugs that may really have a larger impact on your health and if you're traveling?
I know people who are on cancer treatment who take a trip in the middle.
That would be, very specific to the timing and how a doctor would speak to that. But also we do have medical underwriting, and sometimes it would be a voluntary underwriting, so where you actually speak to a medical professional who determines if you are eligible for our insurance.
A lot of us have insurance already on our credit cards.
Right.
So how do you determine if you need to go on top of that?
Yes,
and all of that?
Because that's a common thing, is for people to actually over-insure themselves when they don't really need to sometimes. If you have health insurance through your work or your husband's work or whatever, there's often a very healthy travel insurance component to that would work for you. And again, like you said, the credit cards are also good for particularly things like the car, like if you're a car rental, the Visa card is really quite good for that. But often I find people don't really know what kind of insurance they have, and they need to ask questions, right? You forget that it's just so the boilerplate talk is sometimes hard to understand. Ask questions. If I'm going somewhere that's really far-flung and I want to make sure that I'm going to be okay if something happens to me, I email my insurance provider and I get a nice answer back And so then I also know what I'm doing, but I also have it in writing.
People with disabilities.
Blanket coverage. So I just usually pick the biggest package that's out there. So whether it's cancellation, interruption, medical, having a disability is not cheap. And if you're in a country, foreign country, and something goes wrong, I'd rather pay the extra upfront and protect myself for everything. So I just say go for, if you can afford it, the biggest package there is, and blanket coverage, everything. It is worth it.
Does it come in packages, or is it a la
Yes,
carte?
absolutely. So we do have what we call vacation packages. So it does bundle the trip cancellation, interruption, baggage, air flight accident. It has everything, and it is great. It's great for families traveling. There's family plans as well. And it is, again, based on duration, the cost, some insured prior, so what have you put out already for your travel, and then it's unlimited return generally. So it covers it all.
Is there any kind of number you should think of, or even as a percentage of the cost of your trip that you have to think about spending on insurance?
It depends on really how many problems you think the particular destination is going to throw at you.
That's not why you're going.
Well, I know, but like that might determine where you start spending money on the different kinds of insurance.
We may say 10% of your vacation costs.
Okay.
Just to give people an idea, start thinking about that.
Okay, we'll be right back with more of the Zoomer.